Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us here this evening. It is my honor to welcome and introduce our inductees tonight. Thank you for being here this evening, for all of you here in attendance, and for those of you who have taken part in this awesome weekend that we do. The Hall of Fame induction ceremonies also include being introduced at the basketball game, and we did that last night right before an awesome win, well, actually in between two wins for our junior varsity and varsity basketball teams against Rochelle last night. So that was a conference win, and that was a great time, yes. But thank you all for being here this evening for the 18th Ottawa Township Educational Foundation Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Thank you all who are attending here in person, and a special welcome to those who are watching our live streaming feed online. And for those of you here who want to share this or see it, we have a YouTube page which has all of the Hall of Fame induction ceremonies, all 18 of them, archived on our YouTube page, and you can watch this in about a week or so and share it with friends and family and blow it up virally on your social media feeds and let everyone know about the awesome time we're having here. I'm Kane Farabaugh. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a Midwest TV correspondent for Voice of America. I'm also an independent documentary producer, and I am a very proud 1995 OTHS graduate and a 2020 inductee to the OTHS Educational Foundation Hall of Fame. I'm also currently the president of the OTHS Educational Foundation, and for the last 13 years, now 14, I've had the honor of being your master of ceremonies at this event. And this is honestly one of the things I love doing every year, and I'm thankful that you guys have me back and don't pull the cane and have me come off stage here. So it's an honor for me to be here again tonight in front of so many talented and accomplished men and women. And I'm going to take a moment here. If I could ask those of you who are here tonight who are previous inductees to the Hall of Fame or family members representing Hall of Fame members, can you please stand right now in the crowd there and be recognized? And if you're up here on stage and you've been in, please stand. Thank you so much for making our school proud and for being here tonight to welcome more members into the club. I'm also going to take this opportunity, if I can, to take a moment for us all to honor and recognize those present tonight who have served or are serving in the U.S. Armed Forces. Could you please stand? On behalf of this school, thank you so much for your service to our country and for honoring our school. It's now my honor to introduce you to Ottawa Township High School Superintendent Dr. Mike Cushing. Dr. Cushing has been superintendent since 2015. He is a 1992 graduate of Marquette High School, and his wife Ingrid, who serves as the principal of LaSalle Peru High School, is a 1995 graduate of Ottawa High School. Mike?
Ladies and gentlemen, please give Kane Farabaugh a round of applause as a thank you for being our MC for tonight's event. Kane will return in a brief moment to introduce each of tonight's inductees. Good evening and welcome, Hall of Fame honorees, family members, and friends. On behalf of Ottawa Township High School's Board of Education, Administration, faculty, staff, and students, I would like to congratulate each of tonight's inductees. I would also like to take a moment to thank several people who made tonight's induction ceremony possible. I would ask that you please hold your applause until all are recognized. Thank you to the Decade, Nominating, and Selection Committee members for the time and effort that goes into the selection process. Thank you to those who assisted with organizing and carrying out this weekend's events. This includes Associate Principal Jeff DeWalt, Athletic Director John Leslie, the OTHS custodial staff, business teacher Daniel Heaver, Director of Facilities and Custodians Brad Johnson, Assistant Technology Director Patrick Myers, Tony Einhaus, and Dan Isles. Additional thank yous for their countless hours of work preparing for this weekend's events, Don Harris, who is the author of all Hall of Fame related press releases, author of the Friday night introductions, and the author of the narratives for the Hall of Fame plaques. Susan McDonald, Foundation Hall of Fame Coordinator, and Kelly Schmidt, Foundation Administrative Assistant. A final thank you to the OTHS Educational Foundation. The induction ceremony and dinner would not be possible without the Foundation's continued support. Please join with me in giving these individuals in groups a round of applause. At this time, I will ask Kane to return to the podium to introduce each of tonight's inductees. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Mike. It's also now my honor to introduce to you my fellow Ottawa Township High School District 140 Educational Foundation board member and my friend, Rob Hasty, Mayor Rob Hasty, who is a 1994 graduate of Ottawa High School, and he's going to tell you a little bit more about our foundation. Rob?
Established in 1993, the Ottawa Township High School District 140 Educational Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit private foundation that secures and channels private funds to support and promote the educational programs and activities of OTHS students. Through generous donations, the foundation provides grants to purchase new equipment, promote innovative teaching initiatives, and augment scholastic resources beyond the fiscal constraints of the school's normal operations. The foundation has provided over $400,000 in such grants and other support to date. In addition to ensuring that our students are exposed to the most relevant and ever-changing technology and other educational resources, the foundation is responsible for the Courtyard Project outside of Kingman Gymnasium, the Hall of Fame, and the Student of the Month. Our hope is that through additional contributions and growth, the foundation can continue making an impact on Ottawa Township High School and the students of the district. One might ask why a public entity such as Ottawa Township High School needs assistance from a private foundation that is independent from the high school itself. The fact is that Illinois ranks relatively low among states in direct funding for its schools, yet the majority of the more than 2 million students that currently attend Illinois public schools will stay and live and work in Illinois throughout their adult lives. The economic vitality, future growth and development, and quality of life that we all share will be impacted by this demographic reality. We believe that assisting in the pursuit of educational excellence not only enriches the lives of today's students, but also impacts our communities and collective future as well. The Hall of Fame was established by the foundation to inspire and acknowledge excellence in achievement by its academic, the fine arts, athletics, or other distinguished achievements. In highlighting the accomplishments of inductees, we believe that current students will be inspired by the standard of excellence and accomplishment achieved by their predecessors, and therefore we will better foster a culture of excellence and achievement. We are very pleased that the 2025 group of inductees establishes a high standard of excellence for those who follow. It is difficult to categorize our inductees into single disciplines because their accomplishments consistently exhibit excellence in a variety of endeavors. The interconnectedness of tonight's inductees is remarkable, with Ottawa Township High School as the consistent, enduring accomplishment. We congratulate you all on your induction and achievements, and thank you for the examples that you have set. We are proud of what you have meant to Ottawa Township High School and look forward to your induction this evening. Thank you. Now back to Kane.
Thanks, Rob. So something to keep in mind here, this is the 147th year of this school's history. We are 3 years away from celebrating our 150th birthday. You know, some of you might see some postcards. There's a picture of our old school, which was built in 1879. We've been in this building, I think, since 1916. But our school will celebrate its 150th birthday in just about 3 years. And so what's great is that this Hall of Fame and these members being inducted tonight join a growing field of people that represent this proud and rich history. And it's an exciting opportunity tonight to welcome you all to the club for our 18th Ottawa Township High School Educational Foundation Hall of Fame induction ceremony. The Hall of Fame induction ceremony provides a unique opportunity to honor those selected. Inductees are selected by way of a three-tiered process. Consideration for recognition and selection are individuals, OTHS teams, and OTHS groups nominated during an open application process in which anyone can put forward a recommendation for induction. The focus of the Hall of Fame is to recognize excellence in achievement while a student at the high school, after leaving Ottawa Township High School, or a combination of both. Some honorees may also have not attended Ottawa Township High School, but are significant and accomplished contributors to the school and our society. I'm honored this evening to have the opportunity to recognize a very special group of 3 individuals and 2 historic teams. The central plaque on the 400 wall, where all of the Hall of Fame inductees plaques are located, and hopefully if you had the reception here before we came, you could see that's the Hall of Fame where all of the plaques are there in the hall, and all of you will now be on that hall, the hall wall. It describes the overarching theme of the OTHS Hall of Fame. Each year we make it a point to read the following passage during the induction ceremony from the central plaque. In bold is the statement, from ordinary beginnings, many, through determination, commitment, effort, and high expectations, have accomplished the extraordinary. I would like to personally thank all the inductees for their numerous contributions. You make us all proud to be a part of Ottawa Township High School. But tonight's ceremony is about those on stage, so let's hear it now from them or their representatives, and we begin with our first inductee. John Jack Catlin, from the class of 1965. While attending OTHS, Jack Catlin was co-captain of the Pirates swim team both his junior and senior years. He later attended Southern Illinois University, receiving a BA degree in 1974, then a Master of Architecture degree from the University of Illinois at Chicago in 1983. His personal experience as a wheelchair user motivated him to pursue architecture, to help build environments that adapt to the people. He was a founding partner of LCM Architects, a leading resource on accessibility and inclusive design. He was instrumental in developing accessibility standards and guidelines at the federal, state, and local levels, and was even appointed by President Bill Clinton, serving 8 years on the U.S. Access Board. He was a valued committee resource in writing and revising the Illinois Accessibility Code, the Health, Life, Safety Code for public schools, and the Chicago Building Code. In consequential and ordinary ways, Jack Catlin moved the building industry to transform the way places are designed and built, opening opportunities for people with diverse abilities to participate independently, equally, and with dignity in all aspects of daily life. It is my honor to introduce Mr. Jack Catlin's wife, Gail, who is here tonight to accept the honor bestowed upon her husband.
Hello. Oh, thanks. Hello. First, I must thank the Ottawa Township High School Alumni Association for choosing Jack for this very special award. Also, thank you, Mary Beth Armstrong, for nominating Jack for this distinction. Mary Beth lives right here in Ottawa, and she's also an alumnus of the Ottawa Township High School. When she went to work with LCM Architects, she and Jack bonded very quickly. Mary Beth, you know how much this would mean to Jack, and that you did it would touch his heart very much. Okay, I must share with you, though, that Jack once toured me through the high school and pointed out the Hall of Fame wall of awards by saying, "Can you imagine me on this wall?" Jack. Jack always described himself as a small-town farm boy from Ottawa, Illinois, and he meant it with deep respect and affection. He was a guy with a real force, a presence, who made a big difference in this world. For instance, if you've ever seen sidewalks with curb cuts for wheelchairs, strollers, and for those with visual impairments, Jack played a big role in those. The U.S. Department of Justice would contact Jack for interpretations of Disability Act issues and for his advice. However, instead of focusing on Jack's professional world, I want to talk to you about Jack. Jack was a visionary, a gentleman, an athlete, adventurer, wanderer, daredevil, and a Vietnam veteran. He was the most humble, handsome, imaginative, and amazing person I will ever know. However, he was the worst boyfriend I ever had. But after 5 long years, we mated for life. Jack loved cooking and all things related to outer space, science fiction, history, magic, politics, geography, ghosts, Bigfoot, and the Loch Ness Monster. He was the best husband, father, family member, friend, and colleague. If you didn't like Jack, there was something wrong with you. When Jack returned from Vietnam, he went back to Southern Illinois University studying in design. He broke his back in 1973 while playing Tarzan and swinging on a tree vine when he was 26 years old. He was medevaced to Chicago for surgery and rehabilitation, and he remained in Chicago for the rest of his life. Following rehab, he went to work for the General Services Administration for a time. Then he took a position for a few years as director of Access Chicago, which was a new organization affiliated with the Rehabilitation Institute of Chicago. From this experience, he realized he wanted to become an architect, and he never looked back. In 1979, Jack applied to the Master of Architecture program at the University of Illinois at Chicago, where I was his student advisor. Jack was fun, talented, curious, cool, generous, clever, silly, smart, and my boyfriend. He was an avid reader, and he loved skiing, art galleries, museums, restaurants, music, maps, and sports. But above all other activities, he loved traveling and exploring the wonders of the world. Technology was not Jack's strong suit. When it came to figuring out cell phones, computers, televisions, or anything else technical, we would always yell, "Don't touch the buttons, Jack." He was not a fan of accounting, so he would never record his checks. He knew when it was time to put money in the bank when they would send him overdrawn statements. He bounced a check to me once, and I still have that check. Jack had to stand in line at Commonwealth Edison once to have his electricity turned on, and at the time he was living in what he called a fancy, high-rise, downtown bachelor pad on the lake. When I moved in with Jack, he had 8 loads of laundry on the floor of his bedroom closet. In divvying up chores, Jack took responsibility for cooking and overseeing the big picture. I took over accounting and all the other minutiae. Jack was not a great speller. In fact, he once asked me if kitchen was 1 or 2 words. He said he was joking about that, but I'm not so sure. He could not correctly pronounce, get ready, album, aluminum, cinnamon, homonym, or synonym. I got through those. Whew. In a nutshell, Jack loved life and being a husband and father. He was endlessly patient with our daughter Lizzie. He doted on her and would do anything in the world for her. He walked her to school. He did homework with her. He walked with her to the beach at 5 a.m. to watch the sunrise for a school assignment. And he helped her with every papier-mâché project. He taught her how to drive, and he instilled in her his love of cooking. But mostly he loved being with her, playing with her, talking with her, explaining things to her, and teaching her to be a good person. Liz will always treasure every moment that she ever spent with her father. Jack was her Mecca. When Liz was in 1st or 2nd grade, her teacher asked why her father traveled so often. Lizzie's response was, "My daddy is making the world accessible." Jack passed away in September 2023 from complications of his paralysis. We would have been married 40 years at the end of that month. Jack will be remembered, revered, missed, and loved by many forever. On behalf of my husband, John Hannafin Catlin, thank you so very much.
Okay, before I introduce our next inductee, I'm going to read from a magazine article that was released on October 10th of 1969 that kind of sets up the next inductee we're going to talk about. One of these years, a Chicago area school won't take home the state cross-country championship trophy, and a Chicago area runner won't win the individual title. This could be the year for both. The article goes on to say quite a lot. You know, it's a problem for downstate schools to find good competition to schedule. We're willing to go anywhere on a Saturday for a meet. And it also goes on to talk about this person who we're about to meet, who set course marks at Rockford and Pekin meets and eclipsed a course standard established for Tom Swan of Princeton, last year's state mile champion in a triangular meet at LaSalle, Peru. How this person came into the cross-country program at Ottawa High School, though, is the best thing I think I read about in this article. The best cross-country runner ever produced at Ottawa High School was found this way. Marv Gronke, our sophomore coach, recruited Gerry out of a physical education class, Anderson recalled. We give physical fitness tests to everyone in the school, and one of the tests is an 8/10 of a mile run for all freshmen. We get quite a few cross-country runners that way. Our next inductee got recruited out of a freshman physical education class at Ottawa High School and went on to do the following. Our next inductee is Gerry Couch, the class of 1970. At Ottawa Township High School, Gerry Couch was a highly accomplished cross-country runner, accumulating 36 dual meet titles, ranking him 5th all-time in the state of Illinois. He finished 4th in the IHSA state meet his junior year, the highest finish in OTHS history. He set 8 course records during his career. In Gerry's senior year, he finished 1st in 15 of his 18 races and finished 14th at the IHSA state meet. He qualified for state finals in each of his 4 years on the cross-country team, finishing 131st, 12th, 4th, and 14th in the state meet during his career. He was also an outstanding distance runner for the OTHS track team, holding OTHS records at both the JV and varsity levels in the half-mile, 1 mile, and 2 mile distances. He achieved the fastest time in the nation for a freshman at the 1967 IHSA state track meet and broke the state record for the 2 mile distance. Not only can he run, but he's got a pretty good golf swing too. He has donated innumerable hours developing young local golfing talent and is currently assisting the OTHS golf team, which in 2024 became IHSA state champions. And incidentally, that's the first team of any sport at OTHS to achieve an IHSA state title. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to introduce you to Mr. Gerry Couch.
Wow. Well, little about me. I grew up, born and raised in the hills of Arkansas. And this is going to be hard. And I moved up here as a freshman. And we had 16 kids in my class. And the school I went to was called Black Rock, and it actually set on a rock. But I moved to Ottawa, and I actually moved to Ottawa in a U-Haul trailer. And because there was 13 kids in our family at the time, and they were some already up here, but anyway, we come up on the 4th of July, and we were around Marcel's area, and I kept hearing gunshots go off. And so I opened up the door of the trailer, but it was fireworks, and I'd never seen fireworks in my life. So anyway, that was pretty special. But first of all, I'd like to thank, the selection committee. Dan and Susan has went out of our way so much to get this done for me, and all of the inductees. And I have a nephew that's on the baseball team. I'm proud of you, Ryan. And about that, and like Kane had said, we were in gym class, and we had to run that mile, and that's where Mr. Gronke, he was our assistant coach, and he asked me if I wanted to run cross country. So I didn't really have a clue what it was, so he explained it to me, and I was a basketball player, and that's what I did when I was a kid growing up in the hills of Arkansas, because we didn't have a whole lot to do but pick cotton, so that's what we did. So I was pretty good at running, and it was just the best 4 years of my life at this school. It just changed my whole life, and like Kane said, the placings that I did at state, and I enjoyed that, and I had a lot of success at it. And I had read a quote, I'm not sure where it was at, but it was a quote from a coach that said, "One of the most important kids you will ever coach is one who needs the program more than the program needs him," and that's definitely me. And as a freshman, it was pretty neat. I got to make the state final team, and some of the names was Steve Sipula, Bob Burns, Stan Kreenoff, Dwayne Nelson, and Bob Piercy was one of the runners, but these guys a couple of them were All-American football players, and I got to hang with them at the state finals, which was really neat. And I don't know if anybody's aware of it in here, but we had a golf team that here we go again, that won the state championship this year, the first one in the school history, and our head coach is sitting over there, and a couple of our players, and we're looking forward to some more, and our Buds, our coach over there, I've been hanging around with him for about 3 years, but this year they said I had to be official, so I had to come and do all of the tests and everything, and so he picked his 2 assistants. He picked the basketball coach, has the most wins in history at Ottawa, and he picked the greatest cross-country runner in Ottawa history. So evidently he knew what he was doing, so we got him a state championship. Right, Bud? But he had so many of the kids, though, come up to me, because I work with the kids all summer long, and pretty much year-round, and all the kids made a statement that they really do like the way he coaches, and he does a good job. And it was funny, after our state championship, we played Friday and Saturday, and we come home, and the kids were out practicing Sunday, and that's how dedicated they are. And then the following weekend, I believe it was Saturday and Sunday, the kids were in a prep tour in Peoria and Pekin playing again. So that's just very proud of them. And this started probably 3 years ago with this golf team, with these kids. We didn't just go win it this last year. It started 3 years ago, and the beginning of the year, we weren't a state championship golf team, but they just got better and better and believed in themselves, and you can't imagine how awesome that 2 days was down there at that state finals. It's just incredible. But one thing that, I want to talk about the golf team here a little bit more, but one thing I think turned it around, we had one kid that was our number 5 player, and he hadn't played very well, but he called me on Wednesday night, because we were going down for a practice round Thursday, and he says, "Gerry, do you think I could play a practice round with Breyer and Colt?" Which I call those the Three Stooges. And when they're together, they act like it, so that's the reason we would never let him play a practice round with them. And then I talked to Bud, and so we let him play. And they were so professional during that practice round at Thursday at the state practice round, and I think that's what helped him, and he wound up being our #1 player for the 2 days. And we had a kid, was a freshman, that teed off first on Friday. Now, this is a freshman, a 14, 15-year-old kid. He was our #6 player, and he teed off and hit it right down the middle, and he was so nervous, and Mark Cooper texted me and said, James is on the green with a 15-foot birdie putt. And then he texted me and he said he made it. And I think that was another turn of event because our kids get to look at the iPhones for all the scores. And I think that really, really helped there too. So, but I was going to say a little bit about my coach and the 2 coaches, but I decided not to. So, but Colt sitting over there, I got to say something about him. He is just a special kid, and we were playing the one of the invites at IV, and the hole 13 is the little dog leg left, and there's nobody on the PGA Tour that would hit a driver. They would always hit an iron and lay up, but he decided to hit a driver, and I believe the ball landed in the lady's kitchen out of bounds. And on her deck or somewhere in there, it might have hit the dog or whatever it did, it was out of bounds. So now we're playing the regional at the same place. And Coach, you're not smiling. And Bud's told me, he says, you get up there on the tee and make sure he does not hit driver. So I'm up there, and he had a driver in his hand. And I says, you're going to hit that, and, you know, you don't want to really tell him not to do it. But anyway, he hit a perfect driver shot, just probably 20 yards short of the green. And but that's the way our kids are. They got so much confidence in it. But anyway, thanks for everybody coming. Got my family here, and I can't. If I start talking about them, I'm going to lose it. So, and Sean. Thanks for your service in the airport.
Our next inductee this evening is Sharon Eschbach Coleman, class of 1975. After graduating from OTHS, Sharon Eschbach attended the University of Illinois, graduating in 1979 with a degree in architecture. She began her architectural career in San Francisco, working over a 10-year period with the firms of KMD Architects and HOK Architects. She later moved to Seattle and refocused her career on project management and real estate development. She was project manager for Gerry Project Management from 1990 to 1993 and the University of Washington from 1993 to 1998. From 1998 to 2002, she was senior project manager for Wright, Runstead & Company, among other projects, and she managed the renovation and adaptive reuse of a U.S. public health hospital to the new Amazon headquarters. From 2002 to 2021, Sharon Eschbach Coleman was Senior Project Manager and Director for Vulcan Real Estate, where she oversaw the development of over 5 million square feet of office, retail, and life science projects, including 25 buildings for tenants such as Amazon, Facebook, Google, and the University of Washington. She is also a significant philanthropic donor on the West Coast and here locally, donating over $1 million to nonprofits such as the Reddick Mansion, Starved Rock Community Foundation, and the new Ottawa YMCA. It is our honor to introduce Sharon Eschbach Coleman.
Thank you very much. I'm an architect too, and I think I would have really liked Jack. That was really lovely. And Gerry, I have a whole family here from Arkansas, and I thought they came from me, but maybe they came for you. I'm not exactly sure. And I guess I didn't read all the instructions very well because I didn't write a speech. I know you're all happy about that. But I will say a few things. When I when I left Ottawa 45 years ago, I couldn't wait to leave. I did not like Ottawa. I was, young also, and I needed to spread my wings. And 3 days after I graduated from college, I bought a used Pinto, and I went to San Francisco, sight unseen, and would come back and visit, but was glad to be gone. And then, over the last 30 years coming home, well, 40 years, but especially the last 20 or 25, 30 years I've been coming home, Ottawa has become, it's been transformed, and Ottawa is such a great town. I think it's actually one of the best small towns, one of the best small towns in the U.S. It's just such a great town, and I've brought people here from Seattle, and family has, other parts, my husband's family has come many times, and everyone just loves it, and I'm proud to be from Ottawa. I have to say the transformation happened due to a lot of people, but one in particular I know made a big impression on Ottawa and changed it was Mayor Bob Eschbach, who brought in the River Walk and the downtown revitalization, the historic renovation. He brought in Abe Lincoln and Douglas and the park and all of the things that have happened. It's just a delightful place to be and to come. And so I'm very grateful for this honor. Thank you very much. I'm very proud to be from Ottawa. And to Ottawa, thank you. Oh, hold on. I do need to call out 5 people that are young girls ages from 4 to 11. Revel, Brighton, Rome, let's see, Jet, and Armor. I'm so glad you guys are here. Thank you.
Sharon, when your brother was inducted here a few years ago, Mayor Bob Eschbach, who's here tonight, he actually had one of the best one-liners up here when he came to give his speech, and he says, well, it's better to be inducted than indicted. So, politicians in Illinois, right? That's the... Our first team inductee this evening is the 1982-83 Varsity boys basketball team. The 1982-83 Pirates compiled a 27-3 record and advanced to the IHSA Class AA Super Sectional. And at the time they did this, understand Illinois only had 2 basketball classes, and Class AA was the class that included the largest schools in the state. They were 11-0 in the NCIC Conference, winning the conference title, and were champions in the regional and sectional tournaments. In the first game of the Rock Island sectional, the Pirates prevailed over Geneseo 84-79 in an historic 5-overtime game. They then won the sectional with a 1-point win over Moline. The Pirates ranked 13th in the state, then lost to the 5th-ranked and eventual state runner-up Peoria Central in the Peoria Super Sectional. The Pirates' only other losses were to Rock Island in the Quad City Thanksgiving Tournament and to Chicago Weber in the Pontiac Holiday Tournament. Dave Moran received All-State status by the Chicago Sun-Times. Dave Moran, Mike Cassidy, and Daryl Deckard each received all NCIC first-team recognition. I'm going to read off the names of the team, and when I announce your name, just go ahead and stand up, and then we'll introduce the speakers tonight. The team included Scott Miller, Paul Ledbetter, Matt Krieger, Bill Ryan, John Biffany, Bob Humer, Stephen Martin, John Myers, Jeff Eicher, Andy Seth, Jeff Schmager, Mike Cassidy, Dave Moran, Daryl Deckard, Kevin Holohan, Marcus McCollum. Head coach Gary Vansel, assistant coach Tom Henderson, team manager Randy Phelps, and manager Tony Roberts. Let's give them a round of applause. Here to speak on behalf of the team, it is our honor to welcome Mike Cassidy and Daryl Deckard, who will speak on behalf of the team.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. On behalf of the 82-83 Pirates, I'd like to congratulate Jack Catlin, Gerry Couch, Sharon Eschbach, and the 1998 boys baseball team. We're proud to share the stage with all of you. We'd like to thank the OTHS Educational Foundation and Hall of Fame Committee for recognizing us tonight. To be honest, just being a Pirate and being part of a great team filled with a bunch of great guys and tremendous coaches was more than we could have ever asked for. Now to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, OTHS Hall of Fame, it's truly a cherry on top for our group. We'd also like to thank the teachers, coaches, and administrators who help guide, encourage, and motivate all OTH students to be better prepared for life after high school. We certainly appreciate and respect what they did for our student body, and very much recognize what they did for us as a group as well. Lastly, we would like to thank our cheerleaders, Ann Reardon, Missy Carr, Debbie Kirkpatrick, Teresa Einhaus, Renee Mathias, Missy Hoffman, Wendy Pillar, and Amy Girding for bringing the spirit to our pep assemblies. I still find myself singing "Don't Mess with the Best" because the best don't mess, or my favorite, "We Want the Tears" to the Cavaliers. Incidentally, I think we had them crying 8 times over the years. Thank you, ladies. I was going to introduce my teammates, but thank you, guys. So, we were able to introduce, the guys who are with us, and we're missing a few just not being able to be here tonight. But on a very sad note, we've lost 2 teammates already, John Biffney in 2020 and Dave Moran just last year. Biff had a distinguished career as a major in the Illinois State Police. Dave followed in his dad's footsteps and was a teacher and coach at Lakeland Union High School in Wisconsin. As many of you know, Dave was our leading scorer and rebounder. He broke the OTHS single game scoring record on senior night by going for 43 against Sycamore. And as you all know now, that he was all-state and all-conference. But what I think about when John and Dave, it's not necessarily goes right to basketball. It's just what outstanding guys they were off the court as well. In practice, Biff would draw the assignment of trying to move Dave off his spots. Granted, it was typically a futile attempt, but it's nice to imagine those two playing one-on-one and banging in the paint. So we think about those guys here tonight. At this time, I'd also like to, ask that Dave's wife, Kelly Moran, who we wanted her to come up on stage with us tonight, but she's down there. Thank you, Kelly, for being here. And then Dave's brother, Ron, who is here. If you wouldn't mind standing up, Ron. Yep. Yeah, thank you. Kelly and Ron, on behalf of our team, we want to just let you know, how badly we feel, how sorry we are for your loss. Dave, first and foremost, was a great teammate. We wouldn't be here tonight as a team if not for his outstanding play. I know Dave would have wanted us to have fun this weekend. Thank you for being here to celebrate on his behalf. In 2021, we lost assistant coach Tom Henderson. Coach Henderson was Coach Vansel's right-hand man between running drills in practice or trying to keep 15 teenage guys to task. He was always there to help. Coach Henderson had his own Hall of Fame career as he was inducted into the IHSA Tennis Coaches Hall of Fame. His presence is missed here tonight as well. As a team, we have a ton of great memories that it makes me just smile thinking about, many of which had nothing to do with actual games. We were fortunate enough to play in front of sold-out, standing-room-only home crowds. There's nothing like coming out of the locker room to Ray McKeever's band playing Jesus Christ Superstar with Kingman rockin'. The horn section was incredible. I think we can all agree to that. I know we were all jumping a little higher on those nights as well. Add the Red Rats to the mix, and we had a serious home court advantage. For those of you who don't know, the Red Rats were the brainchild of Mike Piggott and Keith Stevenson and a crew of about 15 to 20 football teammates. They showed up every game wearing crazy theme-driven outfits. As a team, we'd be in the wait-up line, waiting for the Red Rats to show, wondering what their latest stunt would be. Opposing schools didn't appreciate our Red Rats. At the conference title game in Geneseo, their AD would not let the Red Rats into the stadium. So Coach Vansel told us, well, just stay on the bench. And he went with Don Byram to the main entrance and had to talk them into letting the Red Rats into the game. So it ended up, they came in, the whole crowd goes crazy, and you know, it was almost an afterthought. We did win that game and won the conference championship, I think, that night. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention our post-game victory ritual. After Coach Vansel recapped the game, he'd say, "Hit it." Andy Seth would be at the ready with his massive boombox, ready to play Queen's Another One Bites the Dust, followed closely by We Are the Champions of the World. Apparently, we didn't lack for confidence. Believe me, the game itself was just part of the scene. Our band, cheerleaders, student body, loyal hometown fans, and the Red Rats made the 82-83 season a ton of fun for everyone pulling for the Pirates. The season was special on the court as well. Our path to success started with our IHSA Hall of Fame coach, Gerry Vansel. There was no question Coach Vansel would have us prepared to play and play well. Coach provided detailed game plans and demanded a high standard of play. We knew what each team was going to do, and we knew how to attack them. Teams didn't surprise us. As players, it was a great feeling knowing we weren't going to be outcoached. As a result, we went into every game expecting to win because we were prepared to win. Thanks for all you did for us, Coach. We had some exciting games, beating Marquette big at home, LP twice, once for the regional title, Geneseo away for the conference title, Geneseo again in 5 overtimes in the first round of the sectionals, followed by winning a close one for the sectional title against Moline. We found a way to win those games with Dave scoring and rebounding, Darryl running the floor, hitting from what is now the three-point line. Regarding Dave and Darryl, I knew they had a prolific career here as Pirates. They each played 3 years at varsity ball, but I wasn't aware that Dave ended up as the number 5 career points, scoring, and Darryl is number 8. So very impressive. Dave, after he scored 43 points against Sycamore, the very next game he scored 47 and holds the single game scoring title right now to this day. He still has it at 47. So very impressive. But along with those guys, and then I got to go and see Darryl play at Tulsa. It was very exciting when your Tulsa coach. What was your coach's name there that recruited you? Oh, yeah, Richardson came to Kingman Gym. It was a big deal. We were very excited for Darryl being recruited by a big-time program like that. Dave went on to play at Indiana Southern Indiana, and had a very good career there as well. But along with those two, we had Kevin would hit clutch shots and free throws. Jeff Smager playing great D. Matt coming in for Dave after Dave fouled out. Billy, Mark, Jeff Eicher, Andy, all the guys coming and not missing a beat. The success came because we were a team, not a bunch of individuals. We knew our roles and executed the game plan Coach Vansel put together. In practice, the non-starters pushed the starters to be better. There wasn't any head hanging or negativity over a lack of playing time. As a team, we wanted to win a state title. Unfortunately, we lost by 5 to the state runner-up, Prairie Central, in the super sectional. The loss was, and still is, a bit painful, but we had a blast. We were able to take a charter bus to the Peoria Civic Center instead of a road-weary Yelda school bus. To top it off, Ozzy Osbourne played the Civic Center the following night. We thought we had hit the big time. To summarize, we were a group of competitive guys who were willing to put the work in to win. Along the way, we had a ton of fun doing it. I'm very proud to have been a part of the 82-83 Pirate Hoops team. Thank you, and thank you to all my teammates and coaches.
Good evening. As Mike mentioned, we're very heartbroken that Dave, John, and Coach Henderson are not here this evening to join us. Traditionally, co-captains would be up here representing their team, and I'm as honored as I am to be up here. I'm saddened that Dave is not up here talking to you. Dave and Mike were the best co-captains. Mike, the vocal leader and quarterback on the floor, and Dave, the silent, lead by example beast on the floor. But what they both had in common was dedication, passion, and the desire to make this team the best that they could be. This team was the most dedicated, hardworking, unselfish team, and that was evident with the success that we had. This included everyone involved in the program: starters, reserves, coaches, managers. The work began in the summer before. Even though guys were in summer baseball, had jobs, other commitments, the dedication by Coach Vansel and this team that summer was key to our success. In addition, there was an amazing sense of pride with this team. We didn't take for granted that we represented OHS, and it was an honor to be a Pirate. And Kingman Gym was our home, and we went undefeated that season. Part of that streak went on for a 45-game win streak. I'm going to end with comments that Dave's wife, Kelly, told the team. Dave would say he was only one member of the team and only as good as those around him. He admired every member of the 82-83 team for all their hard work and making him and the team better. Dave always said it was by far the best team he'd ever played on. We would all agree it was the best team we all ever played on. Thank you for this honor.
Our final inductee this evening is the 1998 Varsity Boys Baseball Team. This historic group achieved an unofficial 26-5 season record, winning their first 9 games, 17 of the first 19 matches. Then were required to later forfeit 7 games, including 4 conference games, for the use of an ineligible reserve. They proceeded to battle back from that adversity to win 5 of the last 7 games to close the season, then won the regional title, sectional title, and advanced to the IHSA state tournament. This was both the first ever OTHS sectional baseball title as well as the first berth in the IHSA Class AA state baseball tournament. 3 of the starting pitchers, Travis Harth, Bobby Torres, and Brandon Canada, had a combined record of 20-1. In the Galesburg sectional, the Pirates defeated the Quad City powerhouse Moline, then trailed 8-3 in the bottom of the 7th inning with 1 out to Peoria Notre Dame in the title game. They claimed the title, however, with 6 runs, including a 2-run double and a 2-out, 2-run walk-off homer to win the game. I wish I could have been there to see that game. That would have been an awesome way to end that. In the state quarterfinals, the Pirates fell 7-1 to eventual runner-up Tinley Park Andrew. I'm going to name the team members here, and when I do, please stand if you're here. Corey Newman, Nick Vessel, Brent Heberlin, Ben Newell, Carl Hortega, Bobby Torres, Brandon Canada, Jim Mitchell, Rob Smeets, Mark Loudon Brown, B.J. Olson, B.J. Parrott, Darren Bragg, Eric Catrine, Pete Hoffman, Doug Shumway, Eric Farmer, Travis Harth, Mitch Hattel, Ryan Lowry, assistant coach Mark Andrews, assistant coach Craig Mueller, assistant coach Don Heberlin, and head coach Randy Breitag. Let's give this team a round of applause. It's my honor to welcome Coach Randy Breetag and B.J. Olson, who will speak for the group.
It was not my intention to say anything about the golf team because I was the baseball coach at this time, but I'd like to congratulate Buzzy and the team for first place in state. But I do have to take some credit for that because Buzzy was my assistant coach for several years. All right, first thing I want to do is thank our Savior, Jesus Christ. We couldn't have made it this far without him. Thank the committee for selecting us to the Hall of Fame. Susan McDonald and Kelly Schmidt for organizing this ceremony. I'd like to thank my wife and my family for putting up with me during the long season. And especially after a loss, I could get a little gnarly at home. Luckily, this season there weren't too many losses, so it was a good year. I'd like to thank my greatest fans, my mom and dad. They never missed a game, both home and away. I just wish my dad could be here. He passed just a couple days before Christmas. God bless, rest in peace. It was my intention to introduce the players and coaches, but that's already been done. Just like to thank the assistant coaches for all their hard work, developing the players when they were younger, because when they became varsity players, they already had a lot of skills, and I appreciate all the hard work they did. I'd like to congratulate the whole varsity baseball team for being inducted into the Hall of Fame. It's an outstanding honor, something you'll remember your whole life. We had one of the best teams ever at OHS with our 26-5 record. As you heard earlier, this is the only team ever to advance to the Elite Eight. The team had a lot of characters on this team, and you can look up here and you can still see there's a lot of characters. They had a few things in common. They worked very hard in practice, and you have to do that or you're not going to succeed. They loved baseball. They had excellent baseball skills. This team had it all. Great pitching, great hitting, and great defense. That's very rare for a high school team to have all three, but they did. I'm very proud of them. I'm honored to be here as their coach. Thank you for coming here today. Captain B.J. Olson has a few words he'd like to say. Thank you.
All right, I wrote this fancy speech, but I don't think I'm going to do anything. I'm just going to tell a couple stories. That's what I'm going to do. So Bree and Heb were mostly involved with our practices. I'll start off with Heb. Heb's like, hey, tomorrow bring your cup. Like, what do you mean? Why? Or what are we doing? He said, we're going to set up some cones. I said, okay. He set up these cones literally 6 feet apart. He gets to the free throw line. Mind you, this is in the gym. Gets to the free throw line, And he's like, all right, we're going to take some grounders. Okay. Well, we're going to start off soft, and then it's going to be harder. By the end of it, I don't know if I could see the ball anymore. It's just the reaction time. And then with Bree, he used to always just point to his shoulder. Put a chip on your shoulder. And that's how we played. So I appreciate everything that you guys did. Thank you.
When we get over to the Knights of Columbus Hall, we're going to continue with a medal ceremony for each of the players from each of the teams. We'll introduce those after the dinner, so we'll have a bit more of an opportunity to celebrate with these teams. But right now what I want to do, if you don't mind, if I could have everyone here on the stage, please stand for me. Everyone on this stage is an inductee into the OTHS Educational Hall of Fame, and I'd like all of us to give them one last awesome ovation. We're going to close this first part. Please have a seat. We're going to close this first part of our festivities tonight. But before I do, I want to leave you with the words that are on that Hall of Fame plaque. From ordinary beginnings, many, through determination, commitment, effort, and high expectations, have accomplished the extraordinary. And so do these men and women that are on stage with us here tonight. I thank you all for attending this evening's Hall of Fame induction ceremony. On behalf of the Ottawa Township High School Educational Foundation, thank you. And we hope to see you at future induction ceremonies.